Hello and welcome to Teeing Off with RevSportz. I'm Gargi Raut. And joining me today for this conversation is Rahul Giri, G. Rajaraman, and Bharat Ramraj. Last night we saw KKR taking on Lucknow Super Giants. And in the first match of the day, we saw CSK taking on Punjab Kings. In the first match, yes, we saw CSK winning by 28 runs, while in the second match of the day, we saw KKR beating LSG by a massive margin of 98 runs and moved to the top of the table. Now, because we have a Kolkata local in the show, Rahul, KKR are making quite the move this season, moving to the top of this table right before the playoffs. Looking at the team and how they performed this season, do you think they might be one of the favorites to win the IPL?
I think absolutely. I think they are the favorites now. They are the title contenders. And to be honest, as a KKR fan, I have never seen such dominance from the KKR in past season. And I think the two West Indies all rounder has been the key for KKR. Even yesterday as well, Sunil, it was a stellar display from Sunil Narine, and also uh, yes, KKR have scripted a unmatchable record. They have registered I think the highest total against LSG in the at the Ekana Stadium. At the same time, they have also notched up 200 for the sixth time against Mumbai City. I think it's all because of the opening partnership of the KKR of Phil Salt and Sunil Narine. I think it has been a dominant display for KKR so far, and now as they have sealed their place for the playoff of the IPL, I think it's time for them to give some opportunity for the bench players to showcase their ability as well.
Yes. And Raja, when we look at the LSG versus KKR game, one thing that stands out is definitely Marcus Stoinis' form. How wary will the Indian team have to be, right before the World Cup starts because he's in some dangerous form this time.
There are different tracks, different location, different mindset. Stoinis might not get to bat so high in the order as he's doing right now. So, different ball game altogether. But for KKR fans, I'm not anti-KKR, but for KKR fans, I must remind that Rajasthan Royals has played one match less and has got as many points as KKR has. So I would not make the mistake. If I were Gautam Gambhir, if I were anybody in the KKR side, I will not make the mistake of changing the order, giving too many guys opportunities. Now is the time to focus and to try and drive to not just the playoff, but beyond the playoff to victory. I will not make too many experiments now.
Okay. Bharat, one of the reasons for KKR's incredible win was obviously the bowlers, Harshit Rana and Varun Chakravarti with 3 wickets each, and Andre Russell with 2 wickets. A word on KKR's bowling attack.
Yes, yeah, I always rate Varun Chakravarti. I played a couple of games for India in the T20 World Cup. It didn't go well for him, but there's a lot of due. I think there's too much criticism that goes against Chakravarti. He's a very good defensive T20 spinner. So he gets a little more bounce, so he's always hitting the bat higher up on the bat. So it's not easy to hit him through the line. It's good to see that he's come back to form. The first few matches on some really flat decks, he also went for plenty of runs, but he's bowling well. Obviously, Narin is doing really well for them. It's been very economical, and then you add Harshit Rana, who also has been impressive. See, he hits the pitch hard. Once watched him at Chinnaswamy here in a Dulip Trophy game. Obviously, I was only one, I think, only fan in that stadium, and from round the wicket, every single ball he bowled short of a length and hit high up on the bat, and that was not a typical flat. That was a pretty flat Chinnaswamy track, and to bowl that way of for 7-8 overs, it tells you that man has a great attitude. So I think he has a great attitude towards pace bowling, and he uses a lot of variations. So it's nice to see him doing well. I think he had a small chance as well to get into the Indian squad, but anyway, I'm pretty sure he will get his chance in the future. And yeah, KKR's bowling unit is looking very good.
Okay, we'll get back to talking about yesterday's matches, but IPL is incomplete without some controversy, isn't it? After Virat Kohli silenced the critics with his bat and at the post-match presentation, Sunil Gavaskar had a reply for Kohli. How did it all go down? Take a look.
Virat Kohli is the top run getter in the ongoing IPL 2024 after 11 matches. But his strike rate, majorly against spin bowling, has been a major concern yet again as Royal Challengers Bengaluru aim to keep their playoff hopes alive while the India star builds towards the T20 World Cup in June. After carving out a brilliant 70 unbeaten of 44 balls against Gujarat Titans in Ahmedabad last week, Virat Kohli scored 61 runs at a strike rate of 179 against the spinners, which was his third best scoring rate against spinners in a T20 innings. Kohli hit out at his critics in an explosive rant. On Saturday, as RCB hosted Gujarat Titans for the second leg of the IPL 2024 clash, former India captain Sunil Gavaskar fumed on air over Kohli's act. Kohli's comments did not go down well with Gavaskar, who lashed out at the former RCB captain before the start of the match against Gujarat Titans at the M. Chinnaswamy Stadium in Bengaluru, saying that the commentators only criticize him when he would get out before the slog overs after registering a strike rate of below 120. In response, Virat Kohli answered with a 40-run knock of just 27 deliveries with 2 boundaries and 4 sixes at a strike rate of 155.55 as RCB chased down Gujarat Titans' modest total of 147 with ease. It is also RCB's third consecutive win on the bounce. However, before the start of the match, the legendary batter Sunil Gavaskar also lambasted Kohli for his hypocrisy in responding to critics after saying that he could care less about the outside noise. Gavaskar further added that the commentators don't work with hidden agendas and are just doing their job. He also called out one of the host broadcasters for repeatedly playing that video clip where Kohli had lambasted the critics and the commentators for their criticism over his strike rate. Talking about Virat Kohli, the Indian batting maestro leads the run scoring charts in IPL 2024 with 542 runs in 11 matches with the highest score of 113 not out, average of 67.75 and a strike rate of 148.09. He has smashed 48 boundaries and 24 sixes in the tournament so far, with 4 half-centuries and 1 century to his name. Virat Kohli's strike rate has been a subject of debate on social media and other platforms. Kohli's strike rate has been brought up outside the scope of IPL recently as well. Following Kohli's inclusion in Team India's 2024 T20 World Cup squad, the subject was thrown to skipper Rohit Sharma and chief selector Ajit Agarkar during a press conference in Mumbai. However, Sunil Gavaskar's disappointment at how the entire situation, the friction between Kohli and the commentators was being handled by the broadcasters has a valid point, as it only adds to the fire of the entire debate on social media. What do you think about the entire matter? Who is right in this case? Is Sunil Gavaskar right about...
Alright, that was about Sunil Gavaskar taking on Virat Kohli and saying that he's coming after the commentators, but that's okay. Rahul, in the CSK versus PBKS game, one thing that caught all our eyes was, of course, Ravindra Jadeja's performance. After his inclusion in the World Cup squad, there were some concerns about his form, there were some debates going on, but does last night's knock in difficult conditions ease people's concern a little bit?
Yeah, absolutely. I think he clicked at the right time. Just a few 1 month ago, just 1 month ahead of the T20 World Cup. A lot of talks were going about his form. I think he was not delivering with the ball, not in the bat. But yesterday it was a stellar performance from Jadeja, and he contributed with the runs. It was a valuable innings from Jadeja because I think because of Jadeja that CSK posted a total of 170. I think, and with the ball also he delivered. I think he totally dismantled the Punjab Kings during the chase. I think it was a key spell from Jadeja, and I think it came at the right moment for the all-rounder ahead of the T20 World Cup.
All right. And Raja, after the World Cup squad was announced, one of the few players whose form people weren't concerned with has dipped a little bit. But what's more concerning is the fact that ahead of the World Cup, he's not getting to bowl at all. And of course, I'm talking about Shivam Dube. What are your thoughts?
Oh, he's played 2 balls after the team was selected, and he's got out first ball both time. Yes, it does concern fans, but he's too good a cricketer to be worried about what happened in the last 2 games. He's playing according to the situation. He's been sent up to try and score quickly. So in that pursuit, he's lost his wicket. He's not got to bowl through the season. Maybe just in a one-odd game he's got to bowl. It does worry, but if he's bowling at the nets and the chief selector and the captain are convinced that he can be all-rounder material, then so be it. I think he's too good a player to be for all of us to be worried about. He's got the batting skills and he's got the bowling skills as well, and the Indian team will back him in that World Cup in the US and West Indies.
Okay. And Bharat, one of the reasons for Bharat, what I was asking you about was, of course, Shivam Dube also talk about him, but Ravindra Jadeja's performance last night. What did you think of it?
Yeah, he performed well, but has to do it on a consistent basis. He's now batting slightly higher up the order. His T20 record is not great. His strike rate is something like 125 while playing for India. So India have taken a bit of risk in that sense, because when you look at his records with the bat, he's batting so low down the order, somewhere in number 7 or 8 plays for India. Then at that slot, he has to come and play shots from the word go at that position. So yeah, he has to do it on a consistent basis, and yes, perhaps when he plays for India, he has to do it from the word go, because he's going to play mostly the slog overs, somewhere in the 18th or 19th over, where he won't get the chance to get set and then play shots. So yeah, but yesterday's innings was a really good one. As far as Dube is concerned, see, he's a power hitter. When someone is a power hitter out of 5-6 games, he's bound to fail in 2-3 games somewhere, because he's been asked to go and hit the shot. So he plays a lot of risky shots, and you have to take this kind of dismissals. You have to take few failures here or there, and I'm pretty sure the Indian camp also would know, and Chennai Super Kings camp also would know, because they're sending him with a certain job to do, and he's been doing it fairly well.
Yes, and final questions to Rahul and Raja. Let's move on to other sports as well, starting with football. Rahul, Igor Stimac announced the India's 26-member provisional squad for the FIFA World Cup qualifiers. What are your first impressions of the squad?
Yeah, first of all, it's the first batch of squad that Igor has announced. He hasn't included players from Mumbai City FC and Mohun Bagan, as they were playing the ISL final. So, coach will take a look whether any players are injured or not, and after that, he will announce the second lot of the players from those two squad. The key takeaways from the squad are, for the first, after a long time, coach has included 4 players from the I League, the second tier of Indian football, and I think that's the biggest discussing point. And also, I think it's a big motivation for all the players who are playing I League, because before this, lot of talks were going on that players playing in I League doesn't they deserve to get an opportunity at least in the probable squad of the Indian national team. But now Igor Stimac has ended the discussion by giving opportunity to these 4 players. And about these 4 players, I say that I think it's a lifetime opportunity for them. Of course, it will be difficult for them to cope up with the other players, because to shine bright in a squad which is predominantly filled with most of the ISL players. But I think it's a lifetime opportunity for them to make it to the national team by showcasing their talents or abilities.
Okay, and final question to you, Raja. India's men and women's relay teams have qualified for Paris 2024 Olympics, bouncing back from their first round disappointments. A great moment for Indian sports as qualifications for Paris Olympics keep rolling in. What did you think of the Indian men's and women's qualification today?
I think credit goes to the coaches and the others who have made some big decisions in the day between not doing well in the first round and not qualifying for the final, and getting into that second round where India had to nail qualifying times. The women had no chance in terms of getting in the rankings and hoping for a place in the Olympic Games. So they had to get a good time. To finish second behind Jamaica was a terrific effort. I think Jyotika Shri and Shubha Venkateshan both ran sub 52 laps, and I think it was good for India that they made the changes, and that paid dividends. Also, the men's team did really well to finish second behind the USA. They got a little lucky that Qatar pulled out of they were not able to complete the race, and India got lucky, finished second. I'm not saying they would not have got to the Olympic Games. They would have definitely made it on the basis of what they did in the World Championship in Budapest last year. They would have gotten on ranking, but very nice to have nailed both the men and women 1600 meter relay slots today.
Well, that wraps up our conversation. Thank you everyone for joining, and have a great day and stay tuned to RevSportz.